All right. So yeah, I can continue because I've been interrupted now. I lost my track. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just shortly introduce myself. Right. So in this project, in the Empower project, we're mainly in charge of the quality assurance package, right? But as I'm an entrepreneur myself, I was asked to do this workshop with you. So yeah, of course I agreed, and I'm very looking forward to yeah, to inspiring you, but also learning something from you too. Today I will talk about developing entrepreneurial confidence, right? Specifically, how to navigate fear, failure, and also social expectations when thinking about starting a business. Entrepreneurship is often presented as something exciting and empowering, right? Also on this project. But in reality, it also comes with uncertainty and doubts and also social pressure. And today we will explore three things. Why fear is a normal part of entrepreneurship, and what psychological barriers often stop people from starting business. And third, practical tools to turn fear into action. The session will be very interactive. I have prepared for you many questions and many practical exercises. So I also encourage you to participate, reflect, and also share your thoughts. But before we dive into the topic of fear and confidence, I would like to start with the story of a very inspiring entrepreneur. And I have prepared this photo for you. Does anyone know the female founder shown on this slide? I know it's not the person from Uzbekistan. I haven't found any stories from Uzbekistan, so I just took the one that you see. Maybe someone heard about this person. Let me know. Sorry?
No, we haven't.
Never heard?
No, maybe the product or the company that she has represented, we might know, but we are not personally kind of familiar.
Okay. This is a US entrepreneur. This is Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, is a billion-dollar company in US. What makes her story interesting is not just her success, but how she thinks about failure. And also her perspective on failure is captured in this quote. So I would love to read out her quote. Failure is not the outcome. Failure is not trying. So if you don't try, then you fail. It's not the type of the outcome you achieved, but you fail if you didn't try. So don't be afraid to fail. And I found her story is very interesting, very inspiring. Sarah Blakely often shares a story about her childhood. So when she was growing up, her father would ask her and her brother every week at the dinner table, what did you fail at this week? What did you fail at this week? Right? And if they didn't have an answer, he would actually be very disappointed. Yeah, usually when you come home, your parents would ask you, what did you achieve? But they never ask you, what did you fail at this week? And if you failed at something, they probably won't be very happy. But this is the other story, right? It's another flip. So why? Why did he do that? Because he believed that if you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough, right? If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. And this mindset helped Sarah Blakely become comfortable with mistakes and also experimentation. And today she is one of the most successful female entrepreneurs in the world. But her journey started with many small experiments and many small failures. And if you're interested, you can also read about her more online. But now let's apply this idea to ourselves for a moment. I would like you to do some reflection questions. Imagine that failure was impossible. Like imagine that it's impossible, right? What entrepreneurial step would you take? Maybe you would start an online store, launch a service, or pitch an idea, or I don't know, join an incubator, or create a social enterprise, right? I would like you to take your paper and pen and take 3 to 4 minutes to write down, yeah, what entrepreneurial steps would you take if failure was impossible? Yeah, write down the actions you would take. And also think maybe for yourself why you have not taken them yet. Okay, is it clear? Yeah, imagine if you're not been joining the, I don't know, the piloting and you haven't been thinking a lot about entrepreneurship, maybe there you can think about something else from your daily life, right? Or maybe, I don't know, about your university, about your job, I don't know, some other situation from your personal life. Imagine failure was impossible. What steps would you take? Right. Think of what, if failure was impossible, what entrepreneurial or business steps would you take? You know, sometimes in the beginning would be hard to imagine something like that, but yeah, let your imagination flow.
Okay, so failure in what sense?
So imagine you could not fail, you could not spoil it, nothing bad would happen. Like, you know, if you look at the future and you can imagine that everything works the best for you, that everything would always work the best for you, what steps would you take?
I mean, it's a good thing. I've been thinking about making a business plan or something, but the main problem is the money. I always the good thing is if I say I already own a place, for example, from the old city, from the from the tourist hub, and I want to open a cafe. So the main problem would be the money for the renovation, sorry, for the furniture, and for the stuff. And the main thing that I can do as a student is get a loan because they have this kind of an opportunity. I don't know, a chance from the bank for the youngsters, especially women, to open a business. But it would be very risky because if the plan wouldn't work out, like I would kind of destine myself to pay a loan for my whole life. I mean, taking a loan, especially from the government, is very risky, but if my business wouldn't fail, I would do that.
So right, that's a DAO for you. I hope everyone is now ready, and I would love you, thank you for sharing that, to share your thoughts with your neighbor and discuss it. Share what you have written down with your neighbor and discuss it. So you're still discussing, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I see this as a very heated question.
It was kind of hot debate and discussion is going on.
All right, I think I will interrupt you here. I think we heard that someone already kind of publicly, mentioned, I mean, the plans and actions and expectations. It would be also great if someone else would share what you have written down with the audience and also what you discussed. Yeah, I know sometimes this could be very personal because and very vulnerable. Oh, it's very connecting on the other side because I'm sure many people in this room feel something similar. So if someone else could share what they have written and also discussed with a neighbor.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. Who is ready?
I'm ready, and I want to speak.
Yeah. Maybe you can.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. Yeah. I think I can. Yeah.
Oh, um, if I wanted to have like an opportunity to open my own business, maybe it would be some kind of chocolate business, as I had one once wished in my childhood. Because when I was a child, I really wanted to open my own chocolate industry. I don't know why, but the exact business and marketing plan was very ready in my head. And when something was impossible as a failure in my company, I would, of course, start this as a journey in my own hometown. And after making it a very powerful one in my little town, then maybe it would go out to the national market. And this is my business plan for now, right now.
Okay. Okay. And my question, what stops you from taking this step? Is it lack of knowledge or maybe resources or
What stops me right now can be, of course, the resources to start it. As I want to have a strict and a rigid plan that should be followed by exactly step by step, because business is not a very easy process to start with, and the resources shouldn't be restricted in the beginning to have a real effective role in the market.
yeah, I see. All right. Okay, interesting. Someone else would love to share.
So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, yeah.
I would like to share my idea. So it was like my plan, and I'm going to do this after graduating from university. So my plan is opening an educational center in Bukhara, and it would focus on teaching English because we should consider our like skills, like knowledge about this business, and as well the resources, money, and what we are interested in. So my interest is in education. That's why I have this kind of plan. So like I'm planning. I have like some ideas about it, and our government, very helpful. Nothing can stop me here, but um, just time. When I graduate, I can like start it.
I didn't get it. When you graduate, you cannot start it.
I can. I said
Ah,
I can.
okay. Yeah, you want to wait until you graduate. That's
Yeah.
very strategic. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
So if I have an opportunity to invent to my own plan, it will be a study hub. I mean, a cafeteria for school students, school people. In my village, not in city center, because there is no any opportunity to co-work with their peers. I have a plan to invent. And establish this plan after my graduation. I'm waiting for graduation.
Okay, okay. And how many years? Which semester are you all in?
Last
Last semester. We're graduating in 2 months.
Oh, okay. In 2 months already. Okay. I see. Well, okay. Well, thank you all for sharing. Yeah, usually when someone think about such situation that there would be no failure and what steps they could take if there were no failure possible, right? So usually very common answer are I need more experience, right? Or I'm not ready yet. Yeah, there's always there's no perfect there's the moment is not there yet, or people might not support me. Yeah, and there are many reasons. Well, yeah, I think that's thinking strategically when graduating and starting. It's really good, but it could also happen that once you graduate, there's again something else and something else and something else that will postpone you to taking the action, right? And what is interesting that many potential entrepreneurs are not blocked by ideas or skills, right? We often blocked by the psychological barriers. And this brings us to the central topic of today's workshop. So why this all happened, right? First, let's talk about cultural and gender expectations, right? In many societies, social norms influence how ambition and leadership are perceived. Although you are very young people, right? But women may experience tension between traditional expectations and also modern career aspirations. For example, some cultures expect women to prioritize stability or family rules, right? Entrepreneurship may challenge traditional views about leadership. Therefore, women navigate a balance between professional ambition and social acceptance. And recognizing these influences help entrepreneurs make conscious choice about their career path, right? Rather than unconsciously following expectations. But besides the cultural and gender expectations, so there are also a fear of social judgment. The classical question that we always ask ourselves, what will people say, right? If I do something, what will they say, right? If I would start my cafe directly after graduating, what would they say, right? Would they say I might need more experience? Would they say I'm too young? I don't know. What would they say? I don't know. This is too risky. I need more money. Something like that, right? So starting a business often involves visibility. So being there on the plate, visible for everyone, and also risk. You may worry about criticism from others. We may worry about negative opinions, right? Or disappointing family expectations. I mean, maybe our parents would have something else for us, right? Already planned. Yeah, community and perception. So the environment where you live can strongly also influence whether entrepreneurship is seen as a respectable career path or a risky one, right? I often see women, for example, who start businesses and they don't have anyone in their family who ever did entrepreneurship. So they're all employed people. So that's why it's also very difficult for them sometimes, right? Because Besides of all the entrepreneurial risks, they have little support, for example, than from the community or from environment they're in. Because of this, fear of social judgment sometimes prevents people from testing their ideas publicly. But social judgment is only one side of the story. Another major barrier is the fear of failure, right? The one we talked at the beginning. Many people link their personal identity, so meaning how I am, how I perceive myself, right, and self-worth to performance and success. So let's say if they say, oh, well, I'm not getting there, that I'm not good, right? I'm not good enough, right? This is especially true also to academic environment, by the way, right? In schools and university, we're often rewarded for being correct, for achieving high grades and avoiding mistakes. And over time, this can create a feeling that failure is something negative or something we should avoid, right? But entrepreneurship actually works very differently. That we're taught in the schools and we're taught in universities. Entrepreneurship involves experimentation, uncertainty, and learning through mistakes, right? In fact, many successful entrepreneurs talk about failure as an important part of learning process. So you cannot learn if you don't do failures, basically, right? We also learn walking by falling down when we're small babies. However, the fear of making public mistakes or experiencing visible setbacks can prevent people from testing their ideas, right? Instead of experimenting with a small step, many people wait until everything feels perfect, right? They say, oh, I don't have the perfect environment, I don't have perfect this or that, right? Often this perfect moment never comes. And this is not just a personal feeling, right? Research actually shows that fear of failure is one of the largest barriers that prevent women from starting businesses. About 1 in 2 women say fear of failure could prevent them from starting a business. In some countries, this number is even much higher. Unfortunately, I don't have specific number for Uzbekistan, right? But generally, fear of failure among women is very high. What is particularly interesting is that over past 2 decades, we see 2 trends happening at the same time. On the one hand, women report more opportunities, and also women report greater confidence in their entrepreneurial skills. But at the same time, fear of failure has increased. So this creates important question. If fear is such a strong barrier, we might expect women actually, right, if you think of those numbers, right, that you see here, and we think that fear is such a strong barrier, we might expect women entrepreneurs to perform worse in business. But the data actually tells us a very different story. And I think this is very important to share now. Despite barriers we discussed, research shows that women entrepreneurs perform extremely well, right? Women entrepreneurs report revenues 9% higher than the overall average, and millennial women entrepreneurs in your generation, right, exceed the average by 22%. Women-led startups generate more than double the revenue per investment dollar, right, comparing to male-led startups. Female-founded companies also produce 10% more cumulative revenue over time. And nearly 43% of women entrepreneurs introduce innovative products and services. So the data clearly shows something very important, right? Women entrepreneurs are highly innovative, resilient, and successful. And you could be one of them, right? And what all these statistics also shows us, it tells us that fear does not mean inability, right? Fear is not a sign that you cannot succeed. It is simply a natural reaction to uncertainty. The key difference between people who start businesses, those who don't, is how they manage fear. So the next question becomes, how can we turn fear into something useful rather than something that stops us? The fear could be useful too, right? You can flip it. To explore that question, I would kindly ask you to do a short exercise, which is called fear mapping. This activity helps transform fear into clarity and also strategy. Please take a sheet of paper and draw 3 circles. So each of you can draw three circles. Then in one circle, write down in the first circle, identify the fear. In the first circle, write, what do I fear? If I think about starting business, what do I fear? So here you can list the main fears related to starting business: failure, maybe criticism, maybe financial risk, right? Then in the second circle, assess the realistic outcome. Answer the question, what is the realistic outcome? Right? Don't think about the worst case scenario, but so you write your fear, then you think of what could happen if this fear comes into life, right? And what could be the realistic outcome. So think about what is most likely to happen, right, if this happens. And then in the third circle, write down or plan your response. So how would I respond if this happened? So this is my fear. This is the realistic outcome. And how would I respond to it, to the fear? So in the third last circle, you identify practical actions and solutions you could take. Okay. So please take each of you a little bit of time. And write that down. Now, if you are done writing down for yourself, I would also ask you this time to share with your neighbors or neighbor, or could be in a group. Yeah. Cross share it. Yeah, feel free to discuss it among yourself and share it, and find also some maybe common fears, right? Or common plans to action. Okay. And now, as the last time, I think it could be wrapping up. It would be great if someone would share what you written down and also what you discussed. So maybe there were some common things that you found out. Yeah, feel free. Someone, I think they raised their hand, so go ahead.
Yes. Well, I'd like to share my version. Well, what I wrote down here is fear of uncertainty. And I wrote that down, like it means lack of knowledge. What happens if I don't know anything before starting any business? Well, this is my fear. What if like I lack skill or I don't know anything before starting it?
Yeah.
The realistic outcome here is just, well, I know uncertainty is normal in business, and successful entrepreneurs usually learn from their mistakes. They let themselves fail first and then learn by their mistakes, and then keep going. If they're determined enough, they keep pushing, and it would make me doubt myself. I know if I am to open any kind of business, of course there would be realistic outcomes of like doubting myself sometimes and having some problems. Well, and my response in this case would be just to follow the well-known business entrepreneur. Well, I've heard like, and I've recently started to follow Dan Martel. Dan Martel is, as you guys know, is a famous entrepreneur, and he is like startup coach and businessman. And I have recently started to follow his channel on YouTube, and I'm watching it and I'm gaining a lot of insights from him. And my response would be exactly what his response would be. Like I learned something from him that he said, when you fail, you don't have to just give up. Like if you fail, that's totally okay because if you fail, you will learn the one way that wouldn't work. So that's why you should keep exploring, and you should keep like exploring options, and you should like um, go further because failure is one step closer to our dreams. So my response would be not to give up. And even though I think I would have lack of knowledge, I'll still keep going.
Absolutely. Yeah. Think of the lightning lamp, yeah, that we have. That was invented by Thomas Edison. How many times he experimented before actually started working?
Times.
Thousands of times, yeah. 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 Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Would someone else like to share something?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, yeah,
So I have drawn 3 circles. And the
yeah.
first one is a fear I feel towards the business, and the next one, realistic outcome, and the last one, my response towards it. And the fear that I have would be like financial risk, firstly, and then
Yeah.
maybe social criticism.
Yeah.
And if I would expect and assess the realistic outcome, I may feel some social pressure from other people, and maybe if the business goes bankrupt, it may be some shortage of money, but I would respond towards it not as a failure, but as a lesson that I would have to learn from it. And my response would be to try again and learn from my mistakes. As you have mentioned previously, failure is not the final outcome, but it's an opportunity to try again.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Always taking with small steps, right? Okay, thank you. Maybe someone else, the last person would love to share before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free.
So for the first circle, I wrote failure, any kind of failure, like students, like as previously I said like I want to start education business. I mean educational course
So what
center.
would you fear? What would you fear? Or what do you fear if you start?
My fear
Or you
is
fear?
like failure, financial failure. It can be because money is one of the main resources
Yeah,
back up the business.
yeah.
So if I fail, like it would be like it would be the lesson for me. Uh, why I fail, like I won't do it again. For example, like is it about the decoration of the classrooms? I would change it, or is it about like the educational system or the teachers? I would change it for the better. Every like big companies that are famous today, really famous today, like Apple, Tesla, they once were a big beginners. They failed a lot at first, and they are kind of motivation for me. Just uh, learn from our mistake. We should learn from our mistakes and try not to do it or like change it for the better. I would do the same.
Okay, okay. Wow, thank you all for sharing. Um, yeah, definitely. Fear, we all have fears. I have fears, you have fears. I mean, your teachers have fears. This is such a human thing, right? However, we can always reframe it, right? The fear is also here for something good, right? For something good. And I don't know. Don't push it away, the feeling of fear. Try to explore it, right? Um, yeah, try to make up the plan for you, okay? And take it always with small steps, right? One step at a time. So if you start something, of course, big things always can happen. You say, oh, what will happen and this and that. Until that, have a big vision, but always split it in smaller steps. Yeah, split it in smaller, visible um steps that you can predict. Yeah? Okay. So to conclude, I would like to share one important message with you. Remember that entrepreneurial confidence is not a personal trait. You're not born with that. No one is born with that, right? It is a skill, or like it's a muscle, like any muscle that can be developed, right? And confidence grows through exposure, through trying new things and stepping out of your comfort zone, through action, taking small, consistent steps, right? If you see, oh, this is something really big project is gonna come. So split it in smaller steps, right? Step one, I get it there. Then step two, I get further. Step three, I take even more further, and then you move forward. Yeah, recovering from setbacks. You need to learn and adapt when things don't go as planned, right? Don't stuck too much in you, I don't know, in emotional drama when something doesn't work out. Reflect on it, take some time, right? Treat yourself well, and then go further. And of course, it's very important to have like a social support. If you don't find it, let's say among your own environments, it's always good to join a network, right? Where you can meet like-minded people, talk to the people, or yeah, find new connections, build new kind of support team for yourself, right? That can always help you if something something unexpected comes up. And definitely confidence does not come before action. It's not that you're confident. We all think that we are first confident and then we'll take action. But confidence actually comes after taking an action. So take action, and then this will give you confidence. And before we finish, I would like to think about one final question. When you're back home tonight, ask yourself, what is one small step I can take forward my entrepreneurial idea this week? What is one small step I need to do? Right? And remember this, that you definitely can do and you can act before you're ready. Yeah. You know, not always. It's never a perfect moment. No one is ever ready. So act before you're ready. And thank you very much for participation. And I hope this will help you in your future. Yeah. And I wish you all good. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Val.
It was very informative. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah, feel free to check out Female Founder Space, by the way. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free. I can stay for 2 more minutes. Otherwise, I would say have a nice day. I don't know, you have other sessions, trainings, Janar? What was the last one for today?
Oh, it was, I guess, the last one.
Okay. So, you can relax and you have some questions for thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, hello, Bukhara team. Hope you had a nice day today.
Yes,
So thank you very much, Aval, for joining us today. So thanks for helping. Even you are responsible for quality assurance. I just wanted to have a try because anyway, listening for the real entrepreneur is a bit different case and different scenario. So that's why thanks a lot once again. So I recorded your session, and if you don't mind, we could place it to YouTube. So to our
we can write us. Yeah.
So other people also could enjoy the session as well.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Take care then and enjoy your evening. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, girls, for joining us. See you.